Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Hobo Hero. Well, I'm in sunny Santo Domingo, and believe you me, my trip has been very interesting here. It is definitely what I would call night and day from the two countries. My initial trip, like I said earlier, was supposed to be Quito, Ecuador, and it didn't happen. Somehow, my flight got canceled 2 months prior to the whole thing, and then I ended up switching over to Medellin, Colombia, and literally they canceled that after 2 months of me thinking I had a flight. They canceled that literally like 7 hours prior to 12 hours prior to the flight was supposed to even take off. So, I figured, whatever. I'm on vacation. I'm gonna go somewhere, so we better do something quick. So I ended up booking a ticket to Santo Domingo DR, Dominican Republic, and not bad. It's somewhere I wanted to go anyway. This is like, I wanted to test the flavor out here. I could say the country itself is a beautiful country. The weather is phenomenal. It's like literally hovers between 70s and 80s all day. Perfect weather. It's just great. But it is no Colombia. It is no Medellin. It is definitely no Cartagena. Now, it's two different countries, so, apples and oranges. I thought it would be some comparison because, the Spanish speaking and, the Afro-centric mix. You have a lot of Afro-Latinos here. Just like Colombia, except the flavor is totally fucking different, man. It's really different here. It ain't the same attitude. I honestly say that I feel safer here, because most people here look just exactly like me, so I don't feel like I'm in any kind of danger. Where in Colombia, the people were very friendly, but I didn't feel safe. Well, now let me take that back. I felt like I need to keep an eye over my shoulders at all time because you never know who's going to rob you. You know what I'm saying? It is dangerous. It's fucking dangerous. But I fucking love the place. I mean, like, between, that, Taiwan. I love Taiwan to death. I consider Taiwan like my sister country, like my second home, But Colombia has clearly taken that because it checked all the right boxes. The weather, the people, the food, and it's the proximity to, Boston, Massachusetts. It's so close. It's literally a 5-hour flight. Same as the DR here. Same as this place here, too. It's not that far to get to. But, like I said, the flavor is different. The people here doesn't seem as friendly as the Colombians, this is where I'm going to get in trouble, but I'm going to say it anyway. I don't know whether it's the Afro-Latinos or the Haitians that are here, but they're not fucking friendly people, man. They're just, they give you, they're not hostile either. They're not threatening, but they're not, there's nothing personal about them. Like, I stayed 2 places so far that was run by either Afro-Latinos or Haitian descent or some sort of African descent. And every time it was like, you get a little attitude. It's always like some sort of attitude. Like you ask them something, it's like, why you bother me with this bullshit? It's like, hey man, I'm not even asking you something big. I just want something. Can I get a towel from my room? Why do you want that? To dry my ass. That's what I want it for. Doesn't it come with the room? Am I paying extra for the damn thing? So earlier, like I said, the first place, the room was a nice room. It was okay, for 400 pesos a night. It wasn't bad, It was a bit of a shit show, but like I said, I slept in worse. Like I said, that's what happened when you budget. You're on a vacation budget, very cheap. I'm a cheap Charlie, so that's what it is. So no complaint about that. But I came to this place here called the Stairway Hotel, and this is actually in Santo Domingo. The first place was in Boca Chica. This is actually Santo Domingo, and you know, initially you look at the place, it looks nice. The facade looks very nice. Everything looks nice here, you know. And like I said, whoever did these, you know, the pools at one time probably had water in them, and somebody who actually gave a shit, you know, filled them with water and stuff like that. But you know, now whoever runs the place don't give a shit, so that's why the pool's empty. You know, everything is sort of like up here, and then if you ask for like something simple like Wi-Fi, there's no Wi-Fi in the rooms. You know, you got to come up here for your Wi-Fi. You know, and back there is like a little place, and you know, over here is your little balcony and your little, you know, that's actually a pretty good area right there to sit in and relax during the daytime. Because sometimes when the sun's up, man, whoo, yeah, you're gonna get hot. You're gonna get hot as a mother. But you know, it's the level of friendliness and/or customer service orientation is not close as the place I was at in Medellin, you know, 4 or 5 months ago. You know, the staff there, those at the hotel, both hotels, a little pricey, but you know, like I said, but they were nice. You know, they accommodate you. You needed something, no problem. There was no attitude. No one sucked their teeth. There was no rolling no eyes. There was none of that inattitude, I like to call it. You know, I can't say it for most of you guys, but you know, if you get what the N-word means, then you understand what I'm talking about. You know, there was none of that BS. But here, it's like, you know, but maybe you get what you pay for. You know, you put nothing in, you get nothing. So, but being that said, I mean, it's definitely rough here too. I mean, even though this place, you go downstairs, it's like a shit show. I mean, literally, like, you know, it's like run down. But the country itself, you know, the beautiful trees and palm trees and stuff. And I mean, like I said, I showed you guys earlier in one video, it was just like trashed, thrown everywhere. It's just trash. And, you know, it is what it is. You get that. That doesn't bother me. I'm just happy to be here in another country, away from my life in America for a moment or two. You know, just to get away from it. There's nothing wrong with this. You know, like I said, but if I had a choice, I would prefer to have been in Colombia, Medellin. It was definitely my, as we say, as Austin Powers would say, it's definitely my bag, baby. You know, but you know, it's funny, when I got here, man, I made a stupidest fucking mistake, man. I mean, like, the worst mistake ever. And I'm not talking about getting, you know, overcharged by these cabbies at the airport. I know that was going to happen, whatever. I expect that. You know, you get one guy, you know, try to get as much out of you the first time, and then once you see, okay, how much you're doing, then you know not to do that again. It happens. Like now, I know I go from, in Colombia, I know I can go from freaking the airport, Rio Negro, to Medellin for only 100 pesos. I know that's all it's going to cost me. Before, the guy was trying to get like, what, 20 some odd dollars in American, which was like, shit, probably like a couple thousand pesos out of me. And I'm like, fucking guy, he's trying to get a week's worth of a paycheck out of me in one day. I mean, how many tourists he get? And then, you know, has this whole thing like, oh, I have a lot of American friends. You know, he's showing you pictures and Facebook pictures, profile all these people who he conned before. You know, whatever. But anyway, getting back to my story. Took the bus. I took the bus from Boca Chica to Santo Domingo, and you know, I was, man, you know, stuck in those little seats, and I was a little uncomfortable. And it wasn't a bad ride, man. We had two buses. I transferred from one bus to the other bus, and you know, you get cramped in those seats. And I don't know what the hell I was thinking. I was like, I saw this freaking, these Dominican girls got off, and you know, their shapes and shit, and I was just like, la 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 la, I'm getting off too. I ended up following those motherfuckers. And I got off the bus, and it was a Chinatown. I'm like, there's a Chinatown, Santo Domingo. I'm like, why would they not be a Chinatown in Santo Domingo? There's Chinatowns every goddamn where. Chinese are the masters of colonization. They will colonize any freaking place. I'm surprised they haven't got a Chinatown in Alaska yet. That'll happen one day, though. Shit. They'll probably have a Chinatown on the moon before they have one in Alaska, though. Way they're going, But I got up, got off, and then like 5 minutes of me walk around, I noticed I'm sort of light. I'm like, why do I feel? And I'm like, oh shit, I left my freaking backpack suitcase on the freaking bus. And the only God's grace was I panicked at first. I was like, oh shit, my passport's there, my tucky's in that freaking goddamn thing, and I'm screwed. I said, I got my wallet on me, and I got some spending money for the day and maybe for tomorrow, but my tucky is really in there. The money that's gonna last me for the rest of the week is in that freaking that backpack suitcase where I'm holding my goddamn passport. And man, I freaking penned like a motherfucker. And then I'm like, the way the traffic's moving in here is horrendously slow. I'm like, I took a guess. It was either left or right. I went down to the end of the street. I'm like, it's either left or right. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go straight. And I ran straight. And believe you or not, I saw that green bus. It was the only green bus. I remember the green bus when first I thought we got on a silver bus. So I got confused a little bit. When I saw that green bus, I'm like, this has got to be it. So I hauled ass and I ran to that fucking damn thing, man. And sure shot, banged on the door. And the guy was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, open la puerta, trying to fucking say all the fucking Spanish I do. And then one of the ladies must have recognized, she's like, oh yeah, open the door. So the guy's like, what? I'm like, I left my bag on the fucking bus. So I got on the bus and he started taking off. I'm like, no, stop, body, stop. And I'm like, grab my bag. I was like, that's all. And he was like, oh. And man, I was like, the roll of the stars was all over me. The dice was in the right way. I had fucking initially rolled a critical miss on that first roll though when I got up and left my fucking bag on, but I rolled an intelligence check, and believe you me, boy, I rolled an 18 on that one. And I guess everything just lined up. The story gets better. So I'm walking down, happy with myself, slapping myself on the back that I fucking found, have my backpack on me now with my goddamn passport, so I can leave this place when I have to, which there's just another story coming up after this one. And, walk along, and all of a sudden, walk past this supermarket, and this girl with her mother, walking past me. And, she gave me the look. And at first I was head to the clouds, and I didn't think anything of it, but she kept giving me the look. And I'm like, oh, wait, this girl's interested in me. I'm like, well, I'm here, and she's not a bad looking chick, why the fuck not? Fucking do what you gotta do. So I said, oh, hi. And then she spoke, she said hi back to me, but she had an English, American, she actually had an American accent when she spoke, because, people speak English. The accent is either English or American English. So you can tell who taught them. And if they stayed in the country, or they've been around somebody who really speaks, who's really American. So this girl's English was very Americanized. And I'm like, oh, wait, are you from America? And she was like, no. I'm like, you never been to America? She said, no, but I learned English from America. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. I'm like, because you have an Americanized accent when you speak English words. So, we start talking. She was out there with these 4 bags on, 2 bags in each arm, like raw chicken and some beef, and her mom was carrying bags, and they'd stop and talk. And, and we were just shooting shit, and, got her name, and she was like, oh, her name was Wendy. And I looked at her, I'm like, Wendy? I'm like, this freaking Latina girl with an American name, Wendy. I'm like, you sure you ain't been in America? How the hell you get a name like Wendy from? But, she was a cute little thing, and, and then her mom was like looking at me, smiling and shit. And I'm like, well, mom approves. So we're just going to keep talking. And after 5 minutes, she was like, hey, come over here. My hands are hurting. I got these bags in my hands. So I was like, oh, yeah. So shit. So I followed her to her car in the parking lot. And, got in the car, put her bags in there, and she opened there, and she just opened the door, opened the back of the car, this SUV. I think it's like a Honda Pilot or something like that, or some sort of Civic, like a little small Civic or something like that. And then she sat and talked, and we talked for like another 10 minutes, man, and we ended up like getting stuff.
Everything okay?
Good, so far so good. So far so good.
All right.
I got a toilet with a seat on it, so I'm happy now.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's good.
You try to live it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's one of the guys I had to like bitch to earlier, and so I guess they're checking to see if I'm calm. I'm calm now. I'm not a problem. I'm a simple guy. I just want a toilet with a seat on it. That's all. When I take if I'm not saying I have to take a poop, but if I have to take a poop, I want to be able to sit down on a seat and not the bare ass toilet. And I get it. I know they must think that my ass is too good to hit that fucking porcelain, but it's a weird feeling, Let alone dangling that cold water. I mean, some of you guys will get it right. But anyway, so we end up like, exchanging numbers and shit like that, man. And she, I have WhatsApp because I do a lot of traveling, so I figure we do the WhatsApp and Facebook thing and shit, man. And we've been talking off and on ever since, So I don't know. I think she may be trying to turn the old Six Tiger into an inside cat. So that's another reason why I'm waiting up here now, because I'm waiting for her to pick me up, and she's gonna take me out somewhere while I'm in Diamond and see what happens. Getting back to the fucking the passport. So these airlines, they have this rule where they want you to have a negative PCR test within 24 hours of your flight. It can't be any older than 24 hours, which is all fine and dandy, except everything closes down in Santo Domingo on Sunday. My flight takes off at 6 o'clock in the morning on Monday. I don't foresee me getting on that plane without a positive negative PCR test. They're not going to allow me. So I don't get how this stupid fucking airline and their stupid rules, even though we're literally like taking, we're calling it the pandemic is over. You think there'd be no concerns now, but the problem is, these governments have, are punishing these little countries like, South American countries and African countries and stuff like this, because they don't want nobody to travel over there. So they say, oh, these are class, 3 or class 4. And again, this place is a third world country. Yeah, I see no bodies lined up in the street. I see no people dying here. Everybody is walking around without no fucking mask, and I don't see hundreds of people hacking their lungs out. It's business as usual here. There are people walking around in masks, but they're like the few. I probably, out of 1,000 people I saw 2 people walk around with masks, and I was one of them the first day. The guy was like looking at me like, hey, people will look at you funny, but we understand you're a tourist, you want to wear your mask, you can wear it, you can be comfortable, but you don't have to. And as he said that, I was like, yep, take the fucking mask off, you know what I'm saying? But still, whatever the politics is, it is what it is. But I just don't get it. I really don't get this whole, it's stupid. I mean, most people here, their economy's not going to stop because people are afraid of a little freaking virus, and it shows. I mean, they're going to do business, they're going to make their money. And, countries like the Eastern countries who have this, and I get it, they're germaphobes over there. Most Asian countries are very germophobic anyway. So, I mean, any kind of sniffles, and all of a sudden they go crazy. But, no need to shoot yourself in the foot. But, they'll put those restrictions on them, these places like this. It doesn't make sense. These people, this is a good place for us to go and relax. Spend our money. Our money goes a long way here. You could take a dime, literally, and convert it into $1 here. A dime is worth $1 here in some of these places. So, 10 cents is a long way here. $1, a couple dollars in your hands, man. You can eat. You can have a place to stay for the night. just with a couple dollars. You know, don't take much. You know, $20, get you a room. You know, a nice little hotel somewhere. You know, $4 or $5. You know, you can eat a 3-course meal for like you know, even cheaper if you want to eat street food. You know, $1.25, and you get like you know a couple pieces of chicken with some French fries and a soft drink. But you know, all you got to do is come over here and relax. You know, you do got to pay attention. I mean, it can be dangerous. You know, you got to, you know, keep it frosty, but no, and don't look like a tourist. But other than that, blend in. You know, and it's easy for me to say, like I said, because like I said, I tend to look like the people here. So it is maybe, you know, for people who are Caucasian and don't look the part, it might be a little tougher for you. But I seen some very, very, very Caucasian-looking Latinos over here that spoke no English or no any other European languages, and I know they were born here. They just look like, you know, Canelo. Very Irish-looking, you know, pink skin and burnt patches everywhere. Anyway, I'm gonna call it here, everyone. The sun's setting. My date should be coming close sometime soon. She says she's going to contact me as soon as she gets close. So, everyone, I hope you have a good night. I know you're not going to see this video, and probably at least until I get back into Massachusetts. So sorry, but you know, it is what it is. Until the next time, God bless you, everyone, and have a good night. Talk to you soon. Bye now.